Hey guys, so this afternoon, I mean it's already pushing 4 o'clock, but I still have some few chores to do. Primarily pull out as many dahlias as I can. I'm still on the dahlia kick. The yard or the garden, okay, is starting to look rather bleak, all right? So things are dying back. Behind me is Lady Limelight, Hydrangea paniculata, and it's lost most of its leaves, and all that's left are the spent flowers. It's still a beautiful architectural feature in the garden, so I leave all the flowers on. So directly in front of me, all right, which I'm kind of ashamed to show you guys. So guys, I generally keep a tidy garden, but we're winding down in the season where we have a lot of tasks, all right, on our hands, and it's getting kind of hard to keep up. And that's all the excuse I'm gonna give. But basically, these beds, I have 3 beds here, okay? I have 2 L-shaped beds and a rectangular bed behind this large crepe myrtle. Those who have watched my channel for some time know that last year, early last year, actually it may have been in 2020, I'm not too sure anymore, but I reclaimed this space, all right? This was an area where I used to just put a lot of stuff, okay? I had a lot of pallets, a lot of boards. I just basically reclaimed the space, and I turned it into a cut flower garden. It had significant use this past season for that purpose. As you can see, I have some projects that are still ongoing in the space. Over there, underneath those 2 oak trees, I'm killing a lot of vegetation. So that's why I have a lot of cardboard that's piled up around the base of those 2 trees. Over here, I know, right? I'm still trying to organize. I have some pallets underneath this beautiful cedar, okay? This cedar came with the property, and I really need to do a better job in maintaining it. I have fertilized it and did some light pruning when I first got here a couple years ago, but I need to stay on top of it because it's a beautiful architectural feature that also provides some wonderful winter interests, all right? I don't know exactly what variety it is, but during the winter season when it's covered in snow and it has that beautiful architectural shape, it looks beautiful with that red painted shed next to it. So with this fence panel right here, I plan on installing it in front of the cedar, and I'm gonna limb up the cedar, and I'm going to probably paint it black or white, I'm not sure, to match the trim on that beautiful shed. All right, and then I can better conceal the stuff, the junk that I have underneath this this cedar. And so I also intend on putting a fence on the side of the cedar, all right, and paint that white as well, and it'll better conceal the stuff that I have behind me. This, it looks like junk, but it's not. So in my yard or my garden, okay, it has its own microclimate, and just the general region where I stay, which is the Mid-Atlantic, Zone 7A, Maryland, by the way, we get a lot of precipitation. So it proved to be a really good solution for bulbs and for certain plants like dahlias to actually put them in containers. That way I can control the drainage situation, because like I said, it rains heavily. When things are in the ground, there's only so much drainage that the ground can provide. All right, So slowly I am altering the composition of the soil by using soil amendments. I use a lot of compost, a lot of bark mulch, a lot of soil conditioners, leaf grow, for example, which is locally made here in Maryland, to alter the composition of the soil. What that does is it facilitates a lot of drainage. All right, so I'm going to start with this L-shaped bed, and I'm going to go ahead and pull out all of the spent zinnias, which are these, okay? Very easy to pull out. And then I'm going to follow up by pulling out all of the dahlias. All right. There's a few dahlias that I would like to save or overwinter, but for the most, I'm going to toss the majority of them. These are Zinnia Envy. I'll throw a picture up on the screen to see how they look. Hey, some of my garden friends out there, I know you always comment that you always want to add some color to your gardens, you know, flowers and such. Some very easy and economical flowers to add to your garden would be zinnias. You can start them from seed. You can actually direct sow them into your garden beds or, you know, containers or whatever. They're very easy. So I'll put a list in the description below of a few of the common zinnia varieties that you guys can try, you know, to grow in your gardens. Now, they're pretty common through many of the planting zones in the United States. All right, so I'll go ahead and throw a few of those in the description below. So this dahlia right here, I'd like to save. Let me see if I can find the tag somewhere around here. So this one, it's fading, but it says double shine. So I'll throw a picture up on the screen as to what double shine looks like. And for myself, I am going to make a label. To make sure I'm not transferring any diseases from my pruners. Okay, nothing complicated, just a handwritten label, double shine. And all I'll do is, using this hook, just make sure I tag the stump. Get my pruners and go down about 6 inches. That when I dig up the clump, I know exactly what it is. And I'll also store it with this tag as well. All right, so a double shine I'd like to keep. I think over there I have, let's see. Following my own advice, make sure I disinfect my pruners. Okay. So this right here is a white decorative. I still have the label. Like I said, I don't have many here that I'd like to save, but the white decorative and the double shine were pretty nice. So my dear friend Renee, okay, from RB the Garden Nanny, she mentioned in one of my posts that the whole process of digging and storing dahlias kind of dissuaded her from planting and enjoying dahlias in her landscape. My solution obviously is to go ahead and put them in containers. I'll go ahead and put a link to the last video, or you can just go back in my playlist and look at dahlias. Putting dahlias in containers seemed to be a successful means of growing them. So that's a recommendation. But in this case, I had put these in raised beds, and these are actually dahlias that had successfully overwintered in this raised bed. All right, so that's another option where I didn't have to pull them. I just simply overwintered them in the bed. Now, I'm not sure how well this dahlia had fared staying in ground. Sometimes, from my experience, dahlias can survive. However, the tubers may not necessarily had survived so well during the growing season. So I'm going to dig down pretty deep. All right, so I'm going to show you guys me lifting this tuber before it gets too dark. I'm not sure if I'm pulling up the chicken wire, because before I planted these last year, I had laid down a lot of chicken wire. Let me go around to the other side. And you guys are going to experience this along with me, how well or how unsuccessful this dahlia fared in this bed. Okay, so I see a long root. That's probably a dahlia root. So I'm trying to give this dahlia as much room as possible as I am pulling it up. And guys, it looks to have fared pretty well. I must have had really good drainage in this bed. So that's another thing that adds to the success of your dahlias, is good drainage. All right. So right here is the mother tuber from a year and a half ago. It seems like it's pretty much deteriorated. But nonetheless, we have a successful lifting here, and it's fared pretty well. Okay, here are a lot of its feeder roots right here. So it's done pretty well. I like how the dahlia looks, and so therefore I plan on saving it. So I'm going to go ahead and put this lifted tuber into my bin over there. Right here. So the other one I wanted to keep was this white decorative. I'm not sure what it looks like underneath. So this will be a surprise for me, as it is for you. All right. So I go straight down, and then I start turning this pitchfork at an angle about 5 to 6 inches under, and then I start jimmying it. I start to jimmy around 5 and 6 inches. I did break a tuber off right here, which is fine. And that right here is damaged as well, and so is this. So you got to be careful when you're lifting your tubers, guys. You have to go down deep enough. Try to go down as deep as you can. All right, guys, so with this white decorative dahlia, I damaged several of the tubers underneath, right here. That's damaged, and this is damaged as well. But I still have enough tubers, okay, and they're pretty fat. I still have enough tubers that are viable. This is a big chunky one here as well, okay, to save. So I've got this one, I've got these two, this curled one right here, I'm gonna have to chop off, that's no good. And I have this one over here. So this is still pretty viable. I'm gonna go ahead and clean it up a bit before I throw it in my bin. All right, so that's it for today. So thanks for hanging with me on this video, and I'll see you on the next one. Take care.